Camptentrees is a magical place where all identities are respected.
This is the one place where our kids and staff can go where we are the majority.
It's a lot of fun to talk to people that are like-minded.
It's very hard to find love the way you do there.
You can express yourself.
It was the first place I ever got to explore my own gender identity.
It's also like a wonderful safe space to be in, and it's sort of an escape from the outside world.
It's a place that brings together young people and adults from all aspects of the LGBTQ community.
I am a cisgendered female.
I use female pronouns.
I'm a trans woman.
I usually use they, them pronouns.
I'm a wizard snail.
And I identify as queer.
Demi-gendered.
I use he, his, and him for pronouns.
I'm a queer.
I identify as queer and genderqueer.
I'm straight for now.
I'm also trans, and my gender identity is faggy butch.
I just kind of identify as me. That's something about camp that is really cool, is that no one pressures you to identify as one thing or another.
It's one of the few queer camps in the world, I think, that has specific programming for trans and gender queer youth.
We offer 2 camp sessions. One of them is geared towards folks who identify as LGBTQ or allies. The other session that we offer is for youth of non-traditional and LGBTQ families.
I like how it has all the normal camp things that you can do. Like you can boat and do archery.
We also do innovative social justice programming that allows our youth to explore the world around them and see it in ways they may not have, to understand how oppressions affect all of us, not just those directly targeted. One of the things that I've noticed over the last year at Camptentrees is an increase in the number of other summer camps that call us, wanting to learn about how they can best accommodate trans youth in their own programs. Our cabin areas at Camptentrees are probably a little different than at some other camps. Like most camps, we have a boys' town and a girls' town. We also have a Genderlandia cabin option for folks at all points along the transgender and gender questioning spectrum.
I like to say Genderlandia is where gender lives and roams free.
Anybody who doesn't feel comfortable living in Boys Town or Girls Town, or wants to live somewhere that's not divided by a binary gender, can choose to be in Genderlandia.
It's really just a way of having different areas and kind of smaller communities within the larger community.
All cabin areas are self-selected, and the campers can choose to change their cabin area throughout the week. We also have a wilderness cabin area open to folks of any gender, and a cabin area for our lead or counselor in training campers.
In the cabin areas, we generally have 7 or 8 youth with 2 counselors. Our policies, especially those having to do with safety, are meant to match the American Camp Association, or ACA, guidelines.
Safety is very important to us. Serenity Team is our medical support staff on camp, made up of licensed medical professionals, doctors, nurses, and EMTs.
Our Sunshine Team, also known as the Emotional, Behavioral, and Support Team, is there to give campers who need a little bit of extra support the help that they need in order to have a successful week at camp.
The staff on Sunshine Team are licensed, qualified mental health professionals. We also have a role at camp that is called Inclusion Specialist, and those folks work in our cabin areas, primarily one-to-one to help support particular campers and their emotional needs. Recent changes that have happened at Camptentrees is the addition of our lead camper program, Team Pegasus, and a Genderlandia cabin during the Youth of Week. The lead camper program is really meant to prepare our campers to become staff members. This has evolved from our CIT or counselor in training program. Team Pegasus was created to really serve as a community year-round for our young adult leaders.
The campers get involved in the activities and some of the process for camp, and they also get to be involved in the staff hiring.
Camp's really been growing over the past couple of years.
We have incredibly strong partnerships with some of our local foster care agencies who refer a large number of youth to us each year. We also are constantly doing outreach in order to increase our number of volunteers in traditionally underrepresented areas at Camptentrees.
I think camp is coming into its own liberation, and being able to be on the forefront of that is really exciting.
I think in the future it's going to keep growing.
Starting a couple years ago, we had some new people come in to run the kitchen, and lots of new fresh ideas about how we can not only have camp be a social justice camp around race and class and gender and sex, but also around food justice.
The produce is bought from local farmers or donated by local farmers.
Almost everything is handmade from scratch.
And they put all this love into making the food, and you can taste that.
You always have options depending on your food needs.
Gluten-free, vegan, sugar-free, any sort of thing.
And everyone gets to eat the food that is going to be nutritious for them.
We are able to reach out to these local places and tell them about these kids that we love, and then have them be a part of this experience of feeding them.
Having such a broad base of support makes it possible for us to not only meet our day-to-day operating expenses, but also to do special things that most other camps can't, like special food for folks on alternative diets. Things like our campership program, which gave out over $40,000 last year to help youth come to camp.
Our biggest money source is our annual auction. We really like to make sure that everybody has a chance to come to camp, and so it's important for us to use a good portion of that money towards camperships.
We've had a campership every year, and my daughter would not have been able to make it to camp without that.
One of our first initial core goals was that no kid should ever be turned away from camp for financial reasons.
We are a social justice focused camp, and economic justice is absolutely a part of that.
People need Camptentrees because in our society, we don't tell young people that it's okay to be themselves. We don't tell young people that it's okay to try new things, or to grow, or even to fail sometimes. At Camptentrees, we create a community where that's okay.
When I came out in high school, I don't think my mom knew how to support me, so she let me sign up for camp, and I think that was the best thing that she could have done for me.
Even though camp's like a week or two in the summer, it's this like powerful thing that you can have behind you all year.
I don't know of any other place that encourages young people to be themselves to the extent that this camp does.
Whoever you are welcome here.
I've had lots of campers and also staff members come up to me and say that if it wasn't for this camp, I wouldn't be alive today.
This space needs to be created, and if we don't do it, who's going to do it?